lovely Music City, Nashville. Day 2. I'm here with Jeff Slinglove, the strategic project manager from Boss. Now, I already got the drill already, but I know you guys introduced some really mind-blowing stuff, so I'm going to hand it off to you. We're going to start off with this really revolutionary wireless that you came out with.
Yeah, so let me tell you a little bit about the wireless stuff. And actually, to set it up, let me tell you where it first starts, where you first see it from Boss,
Yep.
right? At Winter NAMM, we introduced a product which was called Katana Air.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of great things about Katana Air, right? Because it took the Katana sounds, put it in a Bluetooth audio player, stereo, so you could have guitar tones and stuff like that. But it was really the first wireless guitar amplifier. So it would run off batteries, and it also had a transmitter, so it made it virtually absolutely no cables.
So I can sit on the couch.
Yes. And it had a bunch of great technologies that kicked in the wireless, like a super fast latency, right? Feel and dynamics of the wireless were really great. And so it was just a really fun product, and had some exciting things. Like one of my favorite features on the things, besides the great sounds and everything, and was the ability for the device to go to sleep. Now, lots of wirelesses have a sleep function on them, but on Katana Air, when you set your guitar down, it will go to sleep after like 5 minutes, and it has an accelerometer in it. So as soon as you pick your guitar up, it'll wake up. Not only will it wake itself up, it'll wake up the amplifier. So you just set it on the couch and you just pick it up and go. So we've taken that because people were really excited about that, the whole wireless system that we had come up with, and we came out with first, because there's several of them here to introduce.
Yes.
This is the WL20. Now the WL20 is our new wireless, which is extremely low latency.
Yeah.
It's 2.3 milliseconds of latency, so it's virtually innocuous. You're never going to feel it, right?
Which I believe you said is probably the lowest latency of just about any other wireless out there.
I think so.
Close
I was
to it?
looking through some specs of the world out there, and I think I'm having trouble finding something. It probably is, but who knows? 2.3 is just super nice, right?
Yep.
And in terms of specs, the sound leaving me acoustically to you is about the same distance, right?
Yeah.
It's about 1 millisecond per foot.
Correct. Right.
So tiny, you're never going to notice it.
Right.
And what's great about this is that it's a rechargeable battery built into it.
Yep.
The rechargeable battery, it will last for about 10 hours with continuous sound going through it. So if you played music through it, right, from a radio, that'll take about 10 hours.
Yeah.
But as guitar players, we have starts and stops and different points where we use different energy. So in guitar player language, that's 3 days to a week, which is probably when it needs charged.
Yeah.
So 10 hours of battery life, super fast latency, and what I really love about these is they charge via USB.
Yep.
And they self-identify. They pick their channels, right? So what I do with this guy is I just simply take them apart.
Yep.
And you see the female jack there.
Yep.
Plug it together, and for a moment here, it's going to blink.
Yep.
And after about 10 seconds of blinking, they figured out what channel is best. They went through and looked for the cleanest, quietest signal. And that's great, because if you have multiple players, like you plug yours in, yours finds its channel, then I do mine, and mine finds my channel. Then I pull it apart, plug that in my amp, plug this in my guitar.
Right.
No problem at all.
Yep.
And these work with like some of the active electronics, like EMGs and stuff like that we've tested them. There's no problem there. And they're just beautiful. I get a good 50 foot of distance out of this. So I love them.
And the great thing is that you can, like, the way you have them put together, you can recharge. Just have to charge one of them, and it'll recharge both.
Absolutely.
In that, as opposed to charging them separately.
Yes. So both of them have a USB connector on them for charging, right? Which is nice and convenient on them, because if you wanted to, you have your tech in the back room charging one while the other's on your board or something like that. So it's a nice feature to have. Or so you can do them individually or together.
Yeah. It's amazing. That's the whole wireless. Like, that's when that's
you have a 50-foot guitar play cable in here.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's so the footprint is amazing.
Yeah,
wow.
The footprint is tiny. I mean, this is it fits in my pocket.
Yeah. So
you're on the way to the rehearsal and just plop a cable in your pocket.
Great.
So you'll notice that these two are black, right?
Right.
This is tuned with a guitar cable tone analogy built into it.
Right.
Because guitar players, when we plug into like a 15, 20-foot cable, there's some natural high frequency roll off.
Yeah.
Right. So those have that. But you may not be the guy who wants that, because You may have an active bass, or you might have an acoustic guitar, or you might want to plug it into a keyboard or a synth.
Right.
Or just about anything. I mean, one of the things that's been fun for me is that I've had these for months, being on the beta team and stuff like that, and I've got multiple sets around, and a few weeks ago I'm doing a recording session with a band, and I'm recording drums in my kitchen. And I was just going to have everybody else do a direct device. Like one guy was using DT1000, one guy was using DT1B, and there was a keyboard player. But I kept getting all kinds of buzzes and noises, so I just plugged each of these guys in with these guys, and all the noise went away, and it was just total quiet and beautiful.
That's amazing.
Right? So anyways, this is the WL20L.
L.
Now, L is for full frequency bandwidth, right?
Gotcha.
It's exactly the same specs as far as charge time, length of time, battery life, all those things. It's just that it's a flat frequency response, which you may want for, as I said, for like an acoustic or something like that. So they're just an awesome feature.
That's amazing.
Something I forgot to mention on the other one, which is true for both of these, is they have an auto sleep function as well.
Okay.
Which after an hour, the transmitter will go to sleep.
Correct.
And after 1 hour of doing that, if you pick up your guitar and play any sound at all for 2 seconds, it wakes it back up.
Wakes it back up. Right. So it has this accelerometer, as you said before.
Yeah, so the other one has a motion detector.
Gotcha.
You pick it up and move it. This one is based on sound.
On sound,
right?
Gotcha.
And now, if the gifts weren't enough, they keep coming. All right, there's a pedal version of it.
Great.
So that I love, right?
Yeah.
We're guitar players. What do we have? Pedal boards, pedals, right? I mean, we're Boss. We've had pedals for 45 years now, right? We've all loved them, and it's a thing that we on. So we wanted to do something that fit in the footprint of a common pedal board. So this is the exact same footprint as the Boss compact pedals that we use today.
Yep.
Which always cracks me up when you look at pedal board manufacturers, and that they're like, we'll hold 8 Boss compact pedals. It's like the measurement of a standard for size.
Yes.
It's so funny. Which it makes sense.
Right.
Boss, we just passed last month 16 million pedals sold.
Wow, it's amazing. That's amazing.
So, pretty amazing. Anyways, so same footprint as a compact pedal.
Correct.
Battery compartment, so you can charge it with a battery, or not. I'm sure you're probably going to end up with Velcro on it.
Probably won't do that, but okay.
That's fine. And then what's great about this is on the back of this, you see a 9-volt in. Pedal boards are typically powered by 9-volt power supplies, so it's got a 9-volt for its main in, and has a courtesy jack, so I can daisy chain other things.
Daisy chain other pedals, right?
Yeah, right. And the functionality is pretty much identical. I plug this guy in, it identifies, it charges once in the station, same 2.3 milliseconds of latency.
Yep.
Only thing that's slightly different on this is it has a little bit different, longer range. It's about 65 feet. Right?
Okay.
And then the cable tone, which you had to choose to make a choice between those.
Yep.
This one has a switch, so you can choose 3 different options.
Oh yes. So you have that option.
Another thing that's fun to point out on this guy is a quarter-inch in.
Yep.
Right. So, what's really fun is your guitar tech happens to lose this. In the back of the stage 5 minutes before you go on, can't find it in the dark. No problem. Just plug your cable in, you'll get through the gig.
And that's it. You're right back in business.
Yeah.
Because we all have guitar techs, or it's just. But I'll just lose it myself.
I lose guitar techs by never being able to afford one.
That's right.
Right. So we've got those, and then.
So that's the whole deal. But really quick, what I thought was really cool was what are the street prices on that, by the way?
Okay. So the WL20 is $179.99,
which is amazing for a wireless.
Right.
Yeah.
The WL20L is same price, $179.99.
Yep.
And then the compact pedal version of the wireless, the WL50, is $199.99.
That's great. Awesome.
Right. Gotta love those $99.99s.
Yes. You need that.
So, and then there's one more which I didn't really talk about, but that does exist, which is that the transmitter, this guy, which I'm going to hold up here, we do have a separate SKU for this by itself.
Oh, by itself,
which is called a WLT.
Okay.
And that's in case you lose one,
right.
need a spare, right? Want to you have 3 different guitars, whatever.
Yes.
We figured it'd be a good idea to have some around. So that exists as well. And that's $99.99.
Wow.
Now,
you guys thought of everything over here.
We're trying.
Yeah.
Right. And then another new thing for us this year at NAMM is a new tuner, right? Yep. This is the Boss TU-03. And Boss has made clip-on tuners for many, many years.
Yep.
Boss is actually the first company to put a
Pedal
tuner
tuner.
in a
Yep.
pedal, right? Which is one fun
Yep.
thing. So what's nice about this guy is it's got all your classic things that you would want. The
Yes.
ability to tune,
Yep.
right? Obviously, tune chromatically
Yep.
or tune by instrument type, like bass guitar, acoustic guitar, not bass acoustic, but a bass electric,
Yeah.
ukulele, or an instrument and stuff like that. It has a range where it goes down to, and I'm going to forget the frequency, but I think it's 434.
Okay.
Right, which a lot of people are finding that mathematically 440 doesn't actually work.
Right.
There's some issues with it.
Okay.
So lots of concert tunings are starting to move down to this
Pull
other
it
frequency. And so we needed to make sure that we went down to at least that frequency. So it does that all tuning. But the thing that also sets this thing apart in a bigger way is the fact that it has a metronome built into it.
Yep.
So it's got a metronome built into it, and then it can also do pitch. So it'll hit. I can hit a tone, so I can have it playing for you. Or
And at the pitch that you want it.
yeah,
That's great.
absolutely. So and these are available now, and they're $21.99.
Yeah. $21.99. Can't beat that. That's good.
Yeah, I'll take two.
I'll take two.
Great. So those are the exciting new features of Summer NAMM.
That's great.
And then the other thing we've been talking a lot about is our new processor, which is the GT1000.
This is the big guns right over here.
This is the big guns, right? And we're talking about it now because we announced it at Winter NAMM, but it really has only been shipping for about a month-ish,
Yep.
right? So to get it out and let people see it and talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's pretty special because one, it really applies itself to the needs of the modern musician and modern player.
Yeah.
Obviously, one thing that we're seeing is as guitar players, they want feel, they want tone, right?
Yeah.
And that's why they keep going back to their tube amps, right?
Yeah.
We figured out the power transference in something called tube logic in our amplifiers, Katana,
Yeah.
Waza, Blues Cube,
Yeah.
and those had the advantage of having an analog section that could kind of respond to the speaker, and there was some interaction there.
Okay.
But we wanted to go one step further and get that into something that you could plug into any amplifier you want, plug into a PA system, studio monitors, or whatever you
Right.
want. And so that's what we call aired. It's augmented. Yeah, it's augmented impulse response dynamics. Dynamics being the key word,
Yes.
because it's all about the feel, right?
Right.
You may want it brighter or darker, but you can live with it if it feels right,
Yep.
right? But if it doesn't feel right, it's crash and burn, right? So these things feel amazing as guitar processors. It's the first product out that's with a 32-bit A to D and a
Okay.
multi-effects processor like this.
Wow.
The only other 32-bit products that I know of are the predecessors to this, which are the delay from us, the DD500,
Right.
MD500, and RV500.
Wow.
And so it's got the same 32-bit A to D, D to A, 96 kilohertz. These amazing amp tones that
Yep.
feel and play better than anything. And
What I like about it, the first thing I noticed about it is the fact that you guys really made it a sleeker version.
Oh, yeah.
It's compact. It's lighter weight, and I think if I'm not mistaken, that might be your biggest LED screen.
yes, so several things we did, right?
Yeah.
We really tried to apply this more. It's for everybody, of course, but we wanted to focus on making sure we accomplished goals necessary for the live performing musician.
Right. Exactly.
Live performing musicians today have problems, and that is cartage, expenses, things like that. It's hard to move your gear, right? And it's hard to fly with gear, right? And everybody's trying to get a little bit
Yep.
smaller, a little more compact. They want all the tone, they want all the feel, but they need to get it in a wrangled-in package. So this is about 40% smaller than some of the products out from
Yep.
us and other people. It's about 40% less the weight, right? With the 32-bit A to D,
Yep.
it's got about 4 billion times more resolution.
Right.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a
right?
lot.
Not-
That's right.
And of course, we put the biggest, brightest display which I don't have it powered on. Sorry, right? But we tried to find the biggest, brightest display that we could get that could handle stage situations, right? Because what a lot of people don't realize is when you get on a big stage and those park amps kick on,
Yep.
your displays just wash right out.
Yes,
And
that's
this
true.
would actually hold up to it. Also, stay outdoor gigs with the sun.
So,
hold up to
it'll handle even daylight stages.
yeah.
That's
Right. It
amazing.
doesn't melt out like some
Yeah,
of them
yeah,
some
yeah.
do. And then additionally, along with that, we've given it the ability to be edited via Bluetooth, right? So using your iOS, your Android, like your iPad or something like that,
Right.
your phone, you can do all the editing, and it's bi-directional. So if you touch it here, it affects the app. If you
Right.
touch on the app, it affects here.
The unit.
I love the fact that when you hit tuner on this, it shows up on the app, so you could actually be behind the screen and tune your guitar,
Tune your guitar, that's
with your
great.
phone. And if it wasn't small enough, think of the ability to have all those presets, thousands of presets,
Yeah.
ready to go in a box, right? And it's like you get that flyaway gig, and they're like, hey, can you be there tomorrow? It's like, yeah, can you have a GT1000 there? You get on a plane with a guitar over your shoulder, you show up, you go download, let's go.
That's it.
Right, and it's that
That's
simple
amazing.
and that easy. And if you look, even the metal buttons, they're all low profile. We've designed a new thing, so this whole thing is sleek and small.
Yeah.
All the pots are metal, right? They're
Yeah.
metal shafted, and they're
Yeah.
tight in there. It's just a rugged workhorse, designed to sound amazing.
I do love that. I mean, again, I look at it. I love the simplicity, and I know we don't have the LED to show what it looks like, but it's such an amazing display. And of course, everything is color coded as you're switching through
Yeah,
the foot
all
switches.
the switches are color coded,
Yep.
right? And you can go in there and edit them and change
Yeah.
them for whatever you want.
So you
all
really
of them
know
are all
what-
routable and configurable in any way that you want. It's
Yeah.
like I even love the fact that they on the back of it has an amp AB switch dedicated to it. So if part of your rig is that you have an amp in back that's got an AB channel on it,
Yeah.
it switches channels for you,
Yeah.
right? And big thing over the past few years is for some of the more high level players, they've been doing the 4-cable method.
Yep.
With all the inputs and outputs on
Yep.
here, you can actually use 7-cable method.
Yep.
So you can do crazy things with all the tones in there. 2 amps simultaneously, 4 parallel pass, and you can run those 4 parallel pass within parallel pass.
Okay.
So it's a big, if you can think of it, it pretty much can do it.
I know. I was actually, when I saw the demo yesterday of this, it was not that it was not only it had so much to it, it had more to it than I could ever imagine. That I don't think there's any function that you have overlooked in this.
I think that's pretty much true.
I mean,
and,
it's pretty.
And the 900 other that were there make up for that one that didn't make it,
Yeah.
if that's true.
But the truth is, I mean, after seeing it, that it's pretty much all you need. I don't think. I mean, I think you have the option, of course, to run other pedals through it as well.
Yes, it does have 2 effects to return, so you could put other pedals in it and have them switch in and out
Yeah.
if you wanted to. An interesting story I've been heard recently, which I love. I was at an event with Phil Collin of Def Leppard.
Def Leppard, yep.
And he was telling me this great story of how he runs his rig. And then I think it was he has 2 amps live on stage that are running too much delay, too much distortion, but they're mic'd up and fed through a board and then fed to his in-ear monitors. And I'm like, well, why don't you just use a direct box or have them under the stage or something like that? And it's like, no, the bass player wants to hear him on stage. So he's got this crazy sound there, but then they take a split off it, and the sound man for front of house has a totally different rig, and they're running them to some type of direct box, and they're doing
wow.
right. So, but with this, I could actually do that. I could
Yeah.
actually feed a stereo rig in back that's got too much distortion, too much delay, and stuff like that, but have some clean, classic sound going out to the house
Another
for
one.
the So if you can think of it, it probably does it.
Yeah, there was a lot to it, and again, the look and the overall ease of to be able to change tones and actually move however you want to route your signal path was pretty impressive across all platforms, whether I'm using my iPhone or iPad or just right off the board itself.
Exactly. You could do
So-
it from the face of the unit.
Yeah.
Everything's accessible there. From the iPad, iPhone, Android, it's all accessible
Yeah.
from there. Or there's also a computer app which you can connect via USB
Yeah.
and have a bigger screen to touch things. So
Amazing.
yeah, it's there.
So what's the street price on this, Jeff?
Those are $999,
$999.
So
Yeah.
$1,000.
It's pretty much all you need, and again, it just keeps getting better and better, and I think this is unbelievable. It's probably your best offering. So
Yeah, I'm
It's
really
amazing.
We're really proud of it. And as
Yeah.
I said, the core thing is ignoring the millions of things it can do, which are crazy, and all the details and stuff like that. It feels right, and
Yeah.
if it feels right, then
That's
you're
also
at a
important.
great starting place.
Well, I can't wait to get my hands on it, and thank you so much, Jeff, for being here and telling us all about it. Between the wireless and that, I think that's all I might need once
Yeah.
I get there.
Maybe next time we'll have to put the wireless in it, but
Yeah.
that's next
That's
round.
awesome. Well, thank you again, Jeff.
Thank you so
So
much.
for more information, I guess you can go to bossus.com, correct?
boss.info.
Oh, boss.info.
Yes.
Sorry. And that's it. Well, thank you again, and stay tuned. There'll be more to come. Thanks again.